Here's something you don't know. Oh, God.
Used to? Who just followed me then?
How about you go up to Julia? Show me that you go past her.
G'day.
G'day, guys.
We're at Rookwood Cemetery in Sydney. Now, Rookwood has a bit of history. It's very old. It's the biggest cemetery in the Southern Hemisphere. Now, in 1862, the cemeteries of Sydney were overcrowded and they needed a bigger cemetery. So the government purchased 200 acres of land in this area. At the time was called Haslam's Creek. The first burial here was in 1867. It was an 18-year-old pauper called John Whalen. Now, by 1878, they changed the name to Rookwood, as it was known as Haslam's Creek Cemetery, because the residents of Haslam's Creek weren't happy that their town was being associated as a cemetery. So one of the residents, Mr. Slee, actually picked the name Rookwood. He thought it was a nice name, and also this cemetery has a lot of crows in it. So they changed it to Rookwood, and it was known as Rookwood from 1878. Now, when it was in operation, back in the early days, it had its own train station.
Behind us, guys, is the train station, original train station there, guys. So as you can see, there's no way a train will get through here now.
So the train would transport the dead from Central Station in Sydney to here. It had its own train station, and it ceased operations in 1948. So the Historical Society has kept the ruins of the station, and in the picture you will see that it was like a church. Building that's actually been transported to Canberra now and is an actual church. It's called All Saints. So if you're into history and you find that interesting, look it up.
And also, we're going to show you a video of Rookwood, and
yep, it's a drone video, not made by us because we don't own a drone, but because this cemetery is so big, we wouldn't have time to show you everything, and we thought this drone video was a good way for you to have a good look at the place. And it was created by a person called Awesome Aussie Flyovers. So we'll look at the end of the video so you can look up after his other great work if you're into drones and all the videos made by drones.
oh, guys, enjoy the video, guys. We'll see you straight afterwards.
See you soon.
Hey guys, thanks for watching that video today. We've got a couple of great shout outs.
We have got a couple of great shout outs. Now one is to Jackie from Ghostly Findings Paranormal. We want to thank her for her love and support that she's shown us, and also Paranormal Encounters UK. Look, every paranormal team is unique and they all have something great to share. Please don't think that every team is all the same or all the videos are the same. Each one is unique, they've all got their own style and they're all interesting in their own way. So please give them a watch and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
Don't forget guys, hit the like, subscribe and share this video too guys.
Yeah. And today we found a couple of characters that we feel that you might be interested in, and they're buried here in Rookwood. Now I've got their story, so we're going to show you their graves and then later on we'll do an investigation. So stay tuned, we'll be there soon.
Talk soon guys.
Hi, how are you? Now we're in the older section of the Anglican cemetery in Rookwood. There's many different sections. Now all of these tombstones are the first ones buried here. They'd be back to the early 1800s up to the early 1900s, and as you can see it's overgrown with grass, and even some of the headstones are damaged or just overtaken by nature, which is really sad to see because this is part of our history. But anyway, getting to the point, the reason why we're here is there was a person buried here, or he's still buried here somewhere. We just couldn't find him. We've been tracking through the long grass, and I think his grave's been damaged because it was quite neglected the last time it was noted somebody was here. But his name was William Davenport and he was born in America. Now he was part of a team with his brother. They were one of the earliest spiritualists in the world, and the Davenport brothers were quite big and they had a show, and they created what was called a spirit box, so probably the earliest spirit box that was ever created. And they had a show where they'd sit down with their hands and feet tied and they'd have musical instruments in these boxes, and the musical instruments would play themselves, or they'd hear rappings or other noises coming out of these boxes, but the audience would see their hands and feet tied. Now they were known as magicians and illusionists, and they were quite famous in the world, and they toured the world in the 1800s with their show. Now they're in tour in Australia, and the younger brother William, he had TB, and unfortunately he died when on tour in Australia in 1877, and he's buried here in Rookwood. Now his grave is so respected by magicians in the world, even Houdini went to visit his grave, and we'll show you a picture of Houdini standing at his grave site. So far cry to what it looks like today, and I'm really sad you couldn't see him or see the actual grave. But what we're going to do, since he was a huge spiritualist and he believed in communication from the other side, we're hoping he'll communicate with us today. But you'll have to tune in to part 2 to see the investigation, so stay tuned. This is in memory of all you guys buried here. I'm so sorry that this is a neglected part of the cemetery, that the grass is overgrown and it's hard to find some of the graves that have now been overgrown by nature. So may you rest in peace and much love to you all. Hi, this lady was Florence Fuller. Now, she has a bit of a sad story. She was born in 1867 in South Africa, and her family emigrated to Melbourne. And she was a professional artist and travelled the world, and the world loved her art. She even exhibited in the Royal London Academy and places like Paris. She was very well known. But in 1904, when she returned to Australia, she became very involved in the Theosophical Society, which were the spiritualists, the original spiritualists here in Australia, and she was actually the director of the company. Now, due to her belief that you could communicate with the dead, back in the early 1900s, it wasn't seen as favourable, and they saw that her mind deteriorated, and she was admitted to Gladesville Mental Hospital in Sydney in 1927, and she spent the last 20 years of her life there, dying in 1946. So I wanted to give her some flowers. One, to say thank you for believing in herself and believing in spiritualism, and even willing to die for her beliefs, because the mental asylum wasn't a very nice place, which will be another video. But I'm sure her last 20 years there wasn't very nice.
Hey guys.
I want to say thank you for watching. We hoped you enjoyed the history of Rookwood and some of the characters buried here. There's so many and so many stories that they all hold, and we hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned. We've got part 2 coming up, which has the investigation. We'll hear if any of the spiritualists buried here want to talk to us.
Stay tuned guys, have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share and comment guys. Have a great day.